As we journey together through the 10 days of prayer, it's important to remember the instruction Jesus gives to his disciples after the first Easter. That instruction comes at the very end of Luke's Gospel and at the very beginning of the book of Acts. Before the command to go and tell, there's the vital instruction to wait and receive. At the end of Luke's Gospel, Jesus says this: "Stay here in the city until you've been clothed with power from on high." At the beginning of Acts, the words are very similar. He ordered them not to leave Jerusalem, but to wait there for the promise of the Father. These 10 days for the church between Ascension and Pentecost have always been days of prayer, watching and waiting and praying for the gift of the Holy Spirit's presence and power. They're days for listening to God and to the world around us. They are days of abiding and waiting in God's presence. They're days of pondering the wonder of the resurrection. As we sit and wait and listen to God and listen to the world, the church becomes aware all over again of how much we need the gift and grace of the Holy Spirit. On the one hand, we ponder the wonder of the gospel and the meaning of the gospel for the world. We fall in love again with the risen Christ. On the other hand, we hear the cries and pain and need in the world around us. We come to understand more deeply still how much the world needs to hear the good news of God's love. Listening to God and listening to the world leads us to a longing for God's Spirit to renew the church again. How can I be a bearer of this gospel? Only in the power of the Holy Spirit. How can we as a church witness to the love of Christ? Only in the strength which God gives. How can we find the resources needed to serve the communities around us? Only through what God is able to supply. As we approach Pentecost this year, I hope and pray that you will seek the renewal and grace of God's Holy Spirit to renew us and refresh us as God's church. We need to come to God with empty hands and thirsty hearts. Every parish will face challenges and questions. I'm sure we face challenges and questions together as a diocese. We need more and more of God's grace and God's guidance to meet those challenges. The Diocese of Sheffield was established on the day of Pentecost in 1914. In exactly 1 year's time, we will celebrate our centenary, looking back and looking forward. But this year, as every year, we need God's renewing Holy Spirit to guide us, to equip us, to lead us, to refresh us, to renew us as we journey together in His love. Come, Creator Spirit. Come and dwell deeply in the mind of your people. Come and fill the hearts you created with heavenly grace. Come, Holy Spirit, come.